Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, what we have here is that Trump is really on the war path with Ukraine, and he's on war path with Hamas, as he is threatening Hamas for not sitting out the hostages fast enough, and also with China, revoking Ukrainians because to put more pressure on Zelensky. So this is all coming up in fourth here. So without further ado, guys, without long introduction, let's just get this into it. We have this here. Trump says he's looking at revoking visas for thousands of Ukrainians, not looking to hurt them. President Trump said Thursday he was considering revoking thousands of visas for Ukrainians who came to the U.S. under the Biden administration, but insisted that he's not looking to hurt them. We're not looking to hurt anybody, and we're certainly not looking to hurt them, and I'm looking at that. Trump told reporters in the Oval Office in response to a question about a Reuters report indicating the move was imminent. There were some people who think that that's appropriate, and some people don't, and I'll be making a decision pretty soon. Earlier Thursday, White House Press Secretary Karen Leavitt said the report, citing sources who claimed the plan, who would be implemented as soon as next month, was wrong and that no decision has been made at this time. More than 200,000 Ukrainians approved to come to the U.S. under former President Joe Biden's administration through temporary protected status and the Uniting for Ukraine program. Uniting for Ukraine program was suspended on January 7th, on 1 week after Trump took office. 10 days before Biden left office, the Department of Homeland Security extended the DPS program for Ukrainians until 2026, apparently as a preemptive move against action by Trump. It goes on to say here that the TPS created under a law enacted by President George H.W. Bush in 1990 provide work permits for migrants and from 17 countries who want to stay in America rather than return home nations marred by war or political instability. Foreign nationals covered by TPS cannot be detained by DHS based solely on their immigration status. Criminals and those subject to national security concerns are not covered by the program. The Reuters report indicated that the discussions about the ending TPS program for Ukrainians were underway before Trump had a major disagreement with the Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky in the Oval Office last week. If forced to return, Ukrainians covered by TPS will be sent back home to face Russia's ongoing invasion. Some have no homes to return to and are waiting for a peace deal to be signed so they can return safely. Trump, 78, scrapped the program during his first term and expelled around 400,000 migrants before running into legal challenges and promised during a successful 2024 campaign to do it again. It has nothing to do with Haiti or anything else. You have to remove the people and you have to bring them back to their own country, Trump told nations this past October. The then candidate cited concerns about Haitian migrants in towns like Springfield, Ohio, which became a flashpoint, etc., for all this stuff. So, I'm incontinent with this, right? I think what Trump's going to do here is that he is going to revoke their status, but after he gets a peace deal with Zelensky, which looks like it's going to be coming up pretty soon here. Again, we have Caroline Leavitt says this is more fake news from readers based on anonymous sources who have no idea what they are talking about. The truth, no decision has been made at this time. So again, this is going on here. Again, from BBC says Zelensky's conciliatory letter to Trump suggests that he's out of options, so things are not going too well for Zelensky, which obviously is a good thing, right? Because I don't think we need to be having these people going on here, right? With all this stuff. So Zelensky's look like he's being put in his place, and it's all good. So yeah, that is a promising tell. We have this here. So the BBC again saying U.S. is showing world order, Ukraine's ambassador to UK says. The U.S. is destroying the established world order, Ukraine's ambassador to the UK has claimed. Valery, I'm not even going to pretend to pronounce that last name, said the White House had questioned the unity of the Western world and was taking more steps towards Russia, which launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. No, he's just not siding with Ukraine or Russia. He's just not making us be a part of that war, which majority of the Americans do not want to be a part of the Ukraine war. Now, if Ukrainians or Zelensky want to keep on fighting and go to war, be my guest, that's up to you guys and up to the UK and Europe, etc., that wants to deal with that war. However, for the rest of us, the US does not want to be a part of it. And you guys can go fight that war if you want, but we're just not going to be a part of it. It's plain and simple. The comments come as the U.S. puts pressure on Ukraine to make concessions ahead of any peace deals, and after a public clash between Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky and his U.S. counterpart Donald Trump. Zelensky has since said he is ready to work under Trump's a strong leadership and an apparent cooling intentions welcomed by Trump, and which comes after the U.S. paused military aid to Kyiv. Yeah. It looks like things are heating up pretty quickly, but again, destroying the world order. It's really, really insane on how the U.S. is destroying world order. If anything, it's you guys, the UK, that's destroying world order, along with Zelensky, because you guys are the ones that keep on pushing away peace treaties and peace deals, and you guys are the ones that are constantly wanting to go to war. You're also the same people after the peace treaty want to put down troops down in Ukraine after the peace treaty and making think that that's going to be a good thing for Russia. Like Russia's going to sign a peace treaty for you guys to go and do that. You guys are making it every bit more difficult for Trump to do a peace treaty and have a peace deal for Russia. You guys really are. You guys are honestly wanting and advocating for more war, and we don't want that. So that's the reason why you guys are doing that. It's quite insane that you guys are even considering saying this. It's really quite stupid. And then the big kicker here is what we have here is like Trump tells Hamas, "You are dead," as he warns terror group, "I am sending Israel everything it needs to finish the job in Gaza." President Trump has put out another dire threat to Hamas after the White House confirmed direct talks with the group as part of an effort to finally secure the release of hostages and bodies of the deceased. Shalom Hamas means hello and goodbye. You can choose. He goes on to say here, you can choose, release all the hostages now, not later, and immediately return all the bodies of the people you murdered, or it is over for you. Only sick and twisted people keep bodies, and you are sick and twisted. I am sending Israel everything it needs to finish the job. Not a single Hamas member will be safe if you don't do as I say. I have just met with your former hostages whose lives you have destroyed. This is your last warning. For the leadership, now is the time to leave Gaza while you still have a chance. Also, to the people of Gaza, a beautiful future awaits, but not if you hold hostages. If you do, you are dead. Make a smart move, a smart decision, and release the hostages now, or there will be hell to pay later. So, yeah, Trump is not messing around here. He is not messing around, and as he shouldn't. We signed a deal, right, Hamas? We signed a deal to release all the hostages. And if you are not doing that and you're not complying, well, you're just going to be turned into space dust. That's just plain and simple. You are going to be turned into space dust. You honor the deal, and if you do not honor the said deal, you will be turned into space dust. This is what a strong president looks like. Now, he is saying that he's going to be having Israel do it, right? The U.S. is not going to be involved in this. Israel is going to do it, and he's getting the go-to to where Israel can just lay waste to Hamas, and it's terrible. It's absolutely disgusting because the fact of the matter is that you have to honor the deals. And again, this is not me siding with Israel, and this is not really me siding with Hamas or whatever, right? I don't really pick sides. I don't care for Israel. I don't care for Hamas. So if Hamas gets turned into space dust, this is no concern for me because it does not affect my country. It has nothing to do with me. This is a war that's been going on for a while now between Hamas and Israel, and it just needs to end at this point. And it's annoying. The White House said U.S. Hostage Affairs envoy Adam Boehler had the authority to talk directly with Hamas, despite long-standing policy against negotiating with designated terrorist organizations. The two sides met in Doha, or no, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not quite sure myself. Where prior ceasefire and hostage talks had occurred. Not directly between the parties, U.S. and Israeli negotiators had negotiated instead through third-party Arab leaders. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirmed those talks went as about them. First of all, the special envoy who engaged in this negotiation doesn't have the authority to talk to anyone. Israel was consulted on this matter, Leavitt said. And look, dialogue and talking to people around the world to do what's in the best interest of the American people is something that the American people wouldn't answer directly when asked if the talks also relate to Trump's stated plan to rebuild and take over Gaza and planned cities have called Gaza Lago. These are ongoing talks and discussions. I'm not going to detail them here, but there are American lines at stake. Yeah, I don't think you're going to go and talk about what your plans are, etc., with the enemy or stuff like that, right? That just makes sense. I mean, some things you have to be kept confidential here. Come on. It says on February 11th, Trump warned all hell is going to break loose if the group did not release all the remaining hostages that week. Well, it's currently March 6th here, so they did release hostages. They did release some hostages, but yeah. In response, the Hamas spokesperson lashed out at the U.S. president and said there was no place for the language of threats. Yeah. So again, I think the matter is simple here, right? I think the matter is simple. There is nothing else that Trump can honestly do if they're just not going to listen to orders or listen to what we or avoid or ignore the actual deal at hand. That's it. If they're going to ignore the deal that was at hand, and they're not going to release the hostages, then there's not much else Trump can do to say, well, I'm just going to let Israel take care of you. And that's it. Because Israel is a stronger power. It would severely hurt Hamas. And these people are obviously sick. They are sick. If you're going to just keep bodies, it's disgusting. And we'll see how this goes, right? We'll see how this goes. Again, I am not a fan of war. I hate war. And hopefully this is a sign to Hamas and their stupidity to just not F with Trump because he's not effing around. He's not effing around with the Democrats in our own country. He's definitely not going to F around with people in other countries not listening to his demands. All right, so that's it for the video, guys. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.
Burn down the city, scream at the top of your lungs till you're dizzy. You can cancel everything and everybody in it, but it's not your